What is going on, guys? Joey here. And today, as you guys can see, this way, as you guys can see, we're going to talk about when is it okay to overshoot in the context of your normal sort of training block progression, right? Now, some people might say you should never overshoot, and largely for the most part, you should probably not. You should stick on your program and you can do everything that you want to do in powerlifting in terms of progressions and getting stronger and things like that. Just following your program, letting things come when they're supposed to come and not forcing things, right? I hope this is big enough for you guys to see, by the way. But I have found over the years, and I think I made this video many years ago, that there are benefits to sort of banking a heavy lift for the lifter. And at times, it may be okay to go off program because you're going to create an environment that is going to allow for more progress and more gains and things like that. When I say environment, you could also replace that potentially with headspace. I think most of the benefits from doing something like that are going to be rewarding the lifter with some kind of a payoff, some kind of a, hey, your program is working, things are going in the right direction, you're getting stronger. Um, it's going to give a lot, it's going to restore a lot of faith in whatever it is that you have going on. Sometimes if the lifter is like dieting or they have a lot going on outside the gym or they're going through some life changes, they may expect or want to have progress when it's like not appropriate yet. It's not it's not that time yet to really express yourself on the platform to really show some strength. Um so I'm going to give you guys an example. Let's say you've been training for like 8 weeks. You've been training for 6 weeks, something like that, something somewhere in that range. You've been going through it a little bit. You've experienced, a good amount of volume. Maybe you hit a deload in there, whatever. And you've been really good on your program. Listening to your coach, doing everything that you're supposed to do. Depending on how things are structured, you might have hit a couple PRs, in which maybe this doesn't really apply to you so much. Um, Maybe you've been really, really behaving and you're doing a longer sort of prep and you're gonna get that payoff on meet day or like at the end. Sometimes I might have a lifter that's training and maybe we're planned to just do like an at 7 for the day, right? An at 7 or maybe like a triple double, something like that, right? Or single, something in the lower rep range. That would be indicative of, okay, you're gonna hit something good on the platform. They might contact me, DM me, text me, whatever, and say, "Hey Joey, I know I'm supposed to have a 7 today, but I took my last warm up that I was planning before my at 7, and it is absolutely flying." And I say, "Okay, let's see your at 7." Boom, they take their at 7, and it's not. It's like crazy. And I say, "You know what? We're about to go into, a very rigorous phase of training where they're probably gonna be a little bit suppressed, right? They won't be able to express themselves um, strength wise that much in the next month. So let's go ahead and give them that payoff. Let's show them a little sneak peek of what's to come in the meet, right? If we're on a day where they're feeling really, really good, their variables are on point, and I say, okay, let's go to this weight, show me that. Boom, they show me that, and then I'll explain to them, or maybe I'll say, okay, you know what, for today, I want you to take this. I know it's not on program. I am aware of the rest of the program. It is appropriate. I'm giving you the green light to take this weight if you so choose, because I feel like the benefit that that lifter is going to get from being able to hit that weight, maybe it's a weight they've always wanted. Maybe it's a weight that they feel that they need, right? And this is why it's dangerous to get attached to numbers. When I was prepping, I would just train and let the numbers come to me, and whatever I end up with, as long as I'm dealing with what I need to on the day to day, the week to week, I know that I'm going to get better, and I'm not concerned so much with the number because I just know it's going to be more than last time, right? That's like more of a mature way to think about it. Um, And some lifters do like to know their numbers. Some lifters do like to have things planned out, and that's fine. You could do things like however you want to do them. But I do think there's a lot of merit to learning and being more sort of reactive to what your body's giving you on the day, as opposed to just like having things a little bit rigid. Um, I would say if you're in a good caloric surplus and you're sort of bulking into something, then yeah, I mean it's almost like when guys are like anabolic, right? Like they're taking like PEDs or whatever, like performance enhancers. You could just plan numbers because you know you're gonna like exceed that. Like you're just gonna get stronger. Um, but if a lifter is bulking, they're like coming into a meet. You could probably plan out their numbers really, really well, and they'll be able to hit all the marks because the bulk and the all the other variables that are in place is gonna exceed what other variable might prevent you from doing that. For example, if you have a lifter that's dieting into a weight class or something like that, it's gonna be harder to just like go up, 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 up every week, right? Um, so I'll give the lifter what they want and say, let's hit it. I think it will be really good for them to be able to hit that. There are some preps where, um, for example, Crandon's bench last meet, where we were really, really good and we stuck to everything. Um, but she was a little like on bench, it was almost like discovery day because we hadn't really taken anything like super, super heavy, and we just kind of went with the best numbers that we hit in training. Um, there's many reasons for that. Maybe I'll put a heavy lift on the paper and like maybe the lifter doesn't want to take it because they don't want to overshoot or they're just not feeling confident or whatever. And it's one of those things where like having that extra eye in that moment can help the lifter take like maybe they feel bad, but they're actually strong, right? Like they feel like, oh, this feels like kind of heavy, but they're smoking the weight. Um, and that's where that objective eye, that coaching eye kind of comes in. So the lifter hits their PR now. Maybe they exceed their expectations. You're going to get a huge benefit from them conquering that weight and knowing, wow, like I'm in the middle of training. I have all these other things going on, and I took the weight that I had as a goal for myself for the meet. Their confidence is going to be through the roof. They're going to believe in their process like so much more, and they're going to have just like so many positive benefits from being able to go off a program and take that overshoot in that moment. I'm not saying that you should do this. It almost kind of has to be earned. You should not just be doing that. Um, especially with, you know, ignore that. Some sort of notification. Especially if you overshoot too early. If I give a lifter an intro block, it's like a brand new lifter, and like week 3 they're already like maxing out. Well, now week 4 is like kind of messed up, right? Like I can't do the normal week 4 that I had. They can't go through their progressions because we're gonna have to deload it and take things away. So um, the benefits from being able to go heavy like that is gonna be, uh, I mean I already said it, but like we'll just put confidence is gonna be through the roof, right? Some of the negative side effects um, from overshooting. I mean you guys know possible injury, you know, uh, right? You're gonna have to adjust the progression. They're not gonna be able to pace things the way that you want because they went too heavy too soon. There are gonna be times when um, I'll give a lifter a little pocket of time where they're allowed to be fatigued, right? Where it's like, okay, and there's different levels of it, right? But that's like, it just depends. And that's how you can kind of mitigate if an overshoot happens. For example, if they overshoot something at the beginning of the week, they might have to adjust the end of the week, and then that might make their training like a little bit lopsided to bias one preference over the other, like one side of the week over the other. One more point that I forgot to add, which is going to be kind of obvious to some of you guys. If you decide to overshoot and you don't have any oversight, you don't have anyone helping you, and you just overshoot, right? You just feel like overshooting. You can have the complete opposite effect of confidence through the roof. You'll probably be in shambles. You're going to have no confidence going into the meet. You're going to feel like you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. And it would just put you in a very bad mental space. And that's when people start making irrational decisions. They start thinking they need a new program. They got to change their shoes. They got to change their technique. They got to change their coach. They got to stop dieting or start bulking or start, you start overthinking everything and then you start spiraling, right? You crash out, as the kids say. That is why it is so important. If you're going to do this, it needs to be calculated. You need to do it in a way that is going to be like, you got to kind of be only do it if you know it's going to work, right? So you got to have someone there to help you. Um, but yeah, just wanted to add that one last part. Um, and the takeaway, just a quick little video for you guys, right? Is that for the most part, um, you're going to want to stick to the program. If you have found that, sticking to the plan the whole way works best, then that's good. And there are going to be times when, if you're super, super, super far along in your career, um, and you're competing like a good amount per year, like 3 to 4 times a year, you're probably going to want to save the PRs for the platform, right? Yeah, every case is lifter specific. Every situation is going to be it's gonna depend on like what am I trying to accomplish, right? And I think also what people need to understand is like as a coach, um, yes, I'm trying to prepare lifters. I'm trying to prepare lifters for a meet. That's not just getting them stronger. There's a lot of other things that come with that. It's putting them in the mental mindset to be able to succeed. Um, and giving them that confidence. Sometimes I may call an audible in the middle of the training to say, hey, you know what? I think it would be worth it if we took this heavy weight because now mentally I know they're going to have that confidence to take that on meet day. But for the most part, like I said, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't have a coach, you better probably is better just stick to the program. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Just a quick one. I'm gonna do one more other video today. It's gonna be more like informative, or not like informative. It's gonna be more like something to realize about the sport. Maybe a little bit of genetics. Talk about outliers a little bit, since that seems to be a topic at the moment. But yeah, it'll be good. Thank you guys for making it this far, and if you enjoyed it, leave a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.